Hello, everybody. I am so excited for yet another podcast. Podcast. Another conversation with my good friend Raliat. I really cannot wait for us to dig in. But before we even start, before we even go a bit further, before I even introduce myself, Miss Raliat, I just want to say you are looking mwah, hot.
Thank you.
You are looking so beautiful, and I'm just so grateful to have you. So, my name is Coach Joanne Muturi. I am a coach for professional women, women who are looking to really clarify into their purpose, tap into their gifts, and launch a business that is linked to the unique gifts that they have. So, a lot of the work that I do is around life purpose. It's around helping women really align with why they were created and why they were put here, and I've had the privilege as well of working closely with Raliat in that capacity. And that's why I feel who else would be more appropriate to have this conversation with than Miss Raliat. Raliat, as we wait for the people to get the notification, there's something called the algorithm that is
Yeah.
letting people know. I want you to just say a quick hi before we dive in so that I can just confirm that we are live.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Joanne, for having me today. I'm super excited. I'm delighted, to be in your space. You know what they say about being in great people's space.
Amen.
Somehow you will become great. So I'm looking for my greatness.
You're looking for your greatness. And Raliat, I want you just to introduce yourself real fast, as I just confirmed that we are online.
All right. So, yeah, like I said, my name is Raliat Abe. I'm from Nigeria and I live in Nigeria. I'm a beauty expert and a business consultant. So, I'm here for the beauty part today because what can a woman do without beauty? I run a beauty business. I help other women also with their businesses, be it beauty business, food business, whatever it is. But today we're here to dig into purpose, identity, and alignment. And you know what they say about purpose? When you talk about Joanne, your purpose will be cultivated.
Amen. No.
Yeah.
So I just want to acknowledge Team Joanne that is here supporting us. And as you hop in, please say hello. Let us know where you're streaming in from. As a woman of purpose, an aligned woman, we're not shy. We say who we are and where we're at. We say it out loud. And why I want us to have this conversation, Raliat, is I've realized that as the world is changing, things are moving forward in different directions, especially post pandemic. And even now, with what is happening in Ukraine, the last 2 years have been so heavy. I found myself in positions where I just feel heavy. You know what I mean? Like, not heavy,
Yeah.
but my spirit is just so heavy. And when I talk to clients and I talk to people generally, I can tell that heaviness is still there. There's a thing in the atmosphere, and today we want to break it. We want to
Yeah.
break it because one of the things I have realized is that we can declare that which we want to see, irrespective of what the situation is showing out there. We can decree a word and it is established. So, one of the things that I want to decree today to everybody watching is that you are beautiful, you are highly favored, and that no matter what season is happening right now, no matter what is happening economically, or no matter what is happening privately, no matter what is happening financially, no matter what is happening, there's something that I really want you to tap into, and we're going to dig deep a little bit deeper with Raliat, is your identity. Because even when things shift and you have a clarity on your purpose and your identity and your self image and confidence, you become what I would call unstoppable. Raleigh, add something there because I know you must be burning to say something.
Yeah, when she says that the atmosphere is deep, the atmosphere has been intense for like 2 years or more now. Actually, we still experience pockets of these things. This afternoon, I had that kind of experience. I had that whole feeling of trying to, just trying to look around to say, what's the essence of everything?
Yes,
You always have those moments. Unfortunately, we still experience those moments. So it's good that we have times like these where we can, like just strip ourselves off the marks and get off and get to our real selves and have real conversations and platforms like this.
I love it. And I want to hear from you what's part of that stripping off? Because somebody asked me a question, Joanne. When you said beauty, are you talking about how I look outwardly? What do you mean by beauty? Let's strip that a little bit for them because some people are like, oh, what do they mean by beauty? Or are they just seeing our external? Or what are they talking about? And that's not what we are here for. We are going beyond skin deep. Let's
Yes, we
unveil
are.
that a little bit for them.
Yeah, so beauty for me, even being a beauty expert, I always say that beauty goes beyond your external. It goes as deep into who you are. You reflect who you are inside. As a man thinketh, so is he. The thoughts that you carry within you, it would always reflect in your countenance or how you appear every single time. So there is something that happens in your mind, and that reflects outwardly. No matter how you try to max it, it would always be there. So that's why we want to start from the inner beauty, because everybody is beautiful the way God has made them. He put all things according to the way he gave him pleasure. So you can imagine, if I have blue color, green, there's nothing that make blue is blue, green is green. Okay. And they are both colors. And in my eyes that created them, they are both beautiful. It's for blue to know that, oh, you're special, and green to also know that you're special. So those are the kind of conversations we want to have today.
And the blue being special and the green being special and the red being special makes a rainbow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it brings out a cocktail of diversity, a cocktail of different personalities and different things. And I just want to give a big shout out to Miss Grace Mariam. She's saying a big hi to us. Tim Joanne is saying hi. Hi, Tim Joanne. A big hi to Nisetta. Nisetta, hi, hi, hi. Sally is saying hello, beautiful women of purpose. She's watching from Nairobi, Kenya, as she enjoys a peppermint tea. You know, she's enjoying her mint tea as she watches us. So, wherever it is you're streaming from, you're welcome. We welcome people from all over the world. Personally, I will say right now, I am seated in the United Kingdom. Raliat, where are you seated, by the way?
I'm seated in Nigeria, Abuja to be precise.
In fact, out of topic, but there's a lady who told me that she saw our flyer and that you went to the same church with her in Abuja. I'll share with you after.
Oh, really nice,
Small
interesting.
world. It's a small world. She saw the flyer and she's like, "Oh, I used to go to church with this lady in Abuja," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll let her know." Now instead of telling her
Oh,
in
we have to
private,
meet.
I'm telling her in public. But that's part of having these conversations. Raliet, let's dig a little bit into this conversation, and I want us to go into one of the areas that I found I have also struggled with some at some point. All right. So I was working in the corporate space for a very long time. I was working with the UN and I had a really good job. And then in the middle of all that, I fell really sick, almost dying. And I remember everything for me at that time, my identity had been tied to my job, to those accolades. You're a bright shining star. I was just doing my masters. In fact, in my head, I'm like, let me finish this masters. I go and do my PhD. And then suddenly everything, as I knew, crumbled under my feet. In fact, the bare ability to breathe
Mm.
was the only thing that was holding me. Do you understand what I mean? Like, if nothing else mattered at that point, other than where do I need to focus on right now? Is just to take the
Wow.
next breath. And then the next breath. Do I know about tomorrow? No. Do I know about yesterday? No. Do I know
No.
about tomorrow? No. Because My mind at that time was so focused on what I was going through. And I was talking to a lady, you know her, I was gonna say her name, but I was talking to this lady, and she said to me once that, do you realize that you actually could be still suffering from the trauma of what you
Mm,
went through and you've never processed it? And a lot of us as women, we mask our pain, we mask our experiences that have been difficult in life through even external beauty. You can go just put on this beautiful face, you know, those things of yours. What are the the face beat, the face beat, the hair,
yeah.
the lip gloss, you know, you can do all those things. But deep inside, there's something that is amiss. There's a part of you that is crumbling. And I had to sit down and ask myself, Joanne, you've gone through hell.
Mm,
However, you're not going to stay in hell. And when the lady spoke to me about this trauma, I asked myself, what has helped me to also jump so quickly forward? I realized is because I did not put my identity to the sickness. I
mm,
moved. Oh, I said to myself, this sickness, it came, it passed, and it's not denial. It came. You know, it almost killed me, but is it in my body now? No. So why am I holding on to it? I know that I have steps to move, I have things to do, I have people to serve, I have a calling. And that's why for me, I'm so passionate about life purpose, because the day I looked back, you know, when I came out of that hospital bed, I asked myself, is this it?
mm,
And I remember telling my dad, I'm even asking myself, my job, everything that to me has been what has held me, is not making sense to me anymore. And he's like, remember Romans 8:28. All things work together for the good of those who love God. And I
mm,
remember bursting into tears in the hospital room. And I'm like, which all things work for the good? How can this be good? How can this
mm,
hell on earth be good? Being fed, you know, drips all over your body, visitors coming and then they're crying there because they don't know what's next, you know? And let me tell you what, I now look back. And that's why I say sometimes we have to pick the data, we have to
mm.
pick the evidence. I now look back and I see indeed it all worked
Together.
for my good.
Wow.
I can actually sit here and share this story without crying. You know, there's a time I would start the story. Oh my God, just even saying, you know, they say I went through. And
Mm,
the waterworks. I had a fountain. It's like I had a reservoir of tears that were. Now I talk about it. God has taken away my pain. He has taken away also that internal shame. The shame doesn't, by the way, shame, Raviat, I'm passing it over to you in a moment. Shame half the time does not come from external sources.
mhm,
It starts from us, how we perceive ourselves. So for me, I would ask my questions around I would ask myself, oh, did I do anything wrong? Did I neglect myself? Is there
mm,
anything, maybe did I eat something or drink something that caused me to go through all this? Then you start asking yourself, you even start saying, which generational issues happened,
mm,
that this is something that my former, are they called ancestors, or which who did something and now I'm the one paying the price? You ask yourself all manner of questions. But one thing I know about God is that he's not like that. Yes, generational issues happen, but and things happen. But one thing I know is God is not a God of retribution. He's not there to shame you. He's not there to put you down. He's a God of mercy and compassion. And through that, my identity has been built. And as I asked Raleigh the question I was going to ask, I want to say Miss Yetunde is here. She says, hello, Raliat. I hope she's going to say hi to me as well. The mentoring. She's only seen Raliat. I hope she will greet me as well. But we also have the mentoring room events saying hi to us. And they're saying the past, they're listening in from the UK. And then Yetunde is agreeing with what I've said about I've gone through hell, but I opted not to stay in hell. And Lily, nice to see you, darling. I know. Oh, I'm telling you, I used to boo hoo. I'm laughing at her. I'm telling you, I used to. But one thing I've learned is that when you learn to process these things and talk about them, your confidence returns. And that's what I want to talk about, Raliat. There is a statement by Coco Chanel that I put in my email today, and Yetunde has honored me. Oh, she has said, thank you for saying hello, Yetunde. Bless you. So, Coco Chanel says this: beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. Raliat, you are one of the most yourself people I know. I can say for myself as well, I'm so real. I'm just the way I am. You know what I mean? Like, I'm me. I always tell my clients, I am me and you are you and they are them. You know what I mean? And the moment you recognize that, there's a confidence, inner confidence that you know that you develop. Raliat, please talk to us about why it is important for you to be yourself.
Okay. Thank you very much, Joanne. Thank you for the stories that you shared about what you've been through. And many times when you're going through those situations, you never see any good in it. And you're like,
Mm.
what's the good in this? This is frustrating. Why should I be like this? But then, if you agree to submit all of those troubles to God, at the end of the day, you will see that it was worth it. It was an experience you had to go through and to discover yourself. I remember when I was younger, I always used to say I wanted to be a boy. It
Oh.
was so in my subconscious every time because for me, I thought my brothers got away with more with a lot of things that I couldn't get away with. I was born into a polygamous family. I was the second girl. I had four boys before me, and my brothers could play. They could have their friends around. They could do lots of things, and we would just be like to the kitchen, to the kitchen. So I thought that boys had life better. I thought that boys could make decisions. They could have anything they wanted. So as a young girl, those were some of the thoughts I had hidden in my heart. It was till I grew up, I discovered that, oh, those thoughts were some of my limiting beliefs. Now,
Mm.
nobody can tell me that it's a man's world. I say it's everybody's world. I don't believe it.
Woo!
I
It
don't try
is
to deceive anybody.
everybody's
I just
world.
know that, yeah, I just know that it's everybody's world. You can have whatever you want to have as long as God is with you in the process or whatever you go through. So
Mm.
identity for me was a big deal. I was on the big side growing up as well. And every time anybody made a joke around me, fat, the moment they just say fat, I'll just go, I would start shedding tears. Because for me, I thought it was only the slim figured people that would enjoy life, that would get married, so I thought, so when I saw a fat girl once that had a boyfriend, in my mind, I'm like, do fat girls have boyfriends too? It's so funny. And I'll be like, oh, really? Do fat girls have, so these are all the identity crises we go through and take on with us as we grow up. And some of those things would affect the way you perceive yourself. You will look at yourself, and if someone doesn't say you look good, then you have a problem that day. You're like, oh, that means I don't look good. Or someone is like, oh, that outfit is nice. Or they say it's not, then you have a problem. So I had to go in search for my true identity. And I'm like, oh God, I need to find my real identity. Who am I? Do I have to count the men lining up for me to have identity? Do I have to have other women say you look beautiful for me to agree that I have a good identity? Do I have to be the first in class, have the highest GPA to feel that I had a good, so that was how the journey of my identity started. And by the time I was done through the process, working with God on the process, I discovered the simple truth about identity. You are fearfully and beautifully made. There is nothing else. There is nothing else that
Nothing
can
else.
change that. The fact that God thought of you and produced you as a person, that is your identity. That you would come out there, you'll be the most beautiful girl, but guess what? There will be other girls that are more beautiful. You will come out there, you have the highest GPA, someone else will have 0.1 more. What will you do? You kill yourself.
What will you do? You kill yourself?
What will you do? Oh, you want long hair, and someone has longer hair. What will you do? I want
Hmm.
smooth skin. Someone speaks better than you. So what will you do? So
What
you just
will
have
you
to know,
do?
what will you do? So you just have to know that you are unique in yourself. That was how I knew my identity. And that made it very real for me, like Joanne had said, that she could share her pain at that time. And it didn't mean anything. It makes you confident because you know whose you are. You are no longer that girl that needs affirmation from everybody to step out. You are no longer the person that has to compete to step out. No, you just find your identity. You are at peace. You are at
Let me tell
peace.
you.
You know you are at peace. You are walking in that path where you know that you were created for something. Then before then you have to after that you now discover your purpose. And for crying out loud, at every point in your life there is a purpose. It might not be one purpose all through your life. There are different seasons and different expressions. At this season, this might be what God wants you to do. The next season, He has something else for you. You just now start discovering your purpose. And that's why we have people like Joanne, because they help us to cultivate our purpose. And like she said, I said purpose. They help us to
Purpose.
cultivate it. And we walk through that process to get to ourselves. So, Joanne, I don't know if I've spoken too much.
No, you've spoken so well. And as an alumni of my Life Purpose program, you've done me proud because
Yeah,
when you talk about purpose with such clarity, it makes me happy because I can see the lessons entered the matter.
entered well.
Entered well. It sank in. It entered well, well, well. So I want to be a little silly here, Raliat, and I want to hear what are the food? Tell me some of the foods you are cooking when your brothers were out playing and you're being sent.
It's so bad. Like we would make there's something called beans balls in Nigeria. It's akara.
Is it moi
Akara.
moi? Moi moi, that one?
Akara, not the moi moi, the one you fry the beans instead of boiling it.
It's
So
called
you
what?
have, yes, and it was a meal that my dad really liked. So you have to wash the beans, process it, blend it, and fry it
When people are playing outside.
when they are playing outside. And I remember once one of my brothers said, "Do you want to be a chef?" In short, the moment he asked me the question, I was so angry. I'm like, how can I want to be a chef? I'm just here because they put me in the kitchen. I don't want to be nothing around cooking.
Now
You
we
know?
can laugh, and that's why I wanted to bring in that humor. And guys, start putting your questions in the chat because we're going to be talking about something in a minute. But I also want to share something when you talked about fat girls, right? I remember I've been like this, Joyce, and I remember, people will be like, oh, for a fat person, she's so cute. For a fat person, she looks nice. For a fat person, she dresses well. And like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? And I also struggled with a lot of external validation, just as you said. Like when the way you've dressed and you're looking good. For
Yeah.
me, I knew if someone said to me I looked good, it gave me some sense of, yeah. And especially for those ones the ones you're saying fat people, right? And when I've looked and I feel I'm looking sharp and nobody says something to me, again, I took it some type of way. And it was until I really got into the personal development work and me really going deeper as a purpose coach when I really came to understand what you shared about my identity being in God. I understand that there are so many things that can affect us. And I'm actually going just to share a few, Raliat, because I wish people could understand how they accept traits in life based on how they perceive themselves, based on some false identities. So, for example, one of the forms that we really tap into identity is through behavior. So, have you ever had yourself say something like, I'm a procrastinator? Why are you
Yeah.
attaching yourself to a behavior that you could change? Let's talk another one that we also use, the one you said, physical appearance. Oh, I'm skinny, I'm overweight, whatever, right? Possession. I drive a Ferrari. I drive coming soon. Oh, Ferrari, and you start attaching yourself to these things. Your profession, profession. Let's get so professional. Your profession. So, for example, for me, for a very long time, as I said, my identity was attached to my UN job. right? And then now when things moved and I became a coach, now again, I also had to be at a point where I'm like, am I attaching my identity to being a coach as well? So you really have to be careful. Another one is your role. You know, you can hear a man saying, I'm the breadwinner. Does it mean the wife is not anything because he's the breadwinner? Do you understand what I mean? So
Yeah.
we really have to be aware of how we attach our identity to things like behavior. We are attached to things like emotions as well. Some of us, anything small, you're emotional. I'm meant to speak with Raliat at 10 a.m. I do not call Raliat at 10 a.m. She takes it very personally. Who does she think she is? Blah, but you don't even know what was happening to me out there.
Mm.
We have to learn to separate our emotions from facts and to look at situations the way they are. Roles, as I said, for example, your role, many women identify as, say, the role of women, I am a mom. You go to church, I am a wife. They stand in front of people. Who are you? I am a mom. I am a mom of two beautiful girls and a wife to my one husband. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's how we are conditioned because that's even how we grew up. And in fact, I'm seeing Yetunde's question.
Question.
Randa, I want you to even look at it, but I would encourage her to listen to my latest podcast. Actually, Jennifer, can you please put the podcast episode I did this week on imposter syndrome? I actually did 1 hour of a solo show on imposter syndrome, and I would want to hear another perspective as well because it's an area I like to talk about. But really, do you want to talk about imposter syndrome real quick?
Okay. I know that Yetunde wanted you to respond to her, but she will listen to your podcast because I'm sure she's tired of hearing me speak. So, but
Yeah.
I will still try for other people on online watching us. Imposter syndrome is actually real because what happens is that you find yourself where you somehow have visualized yourself, but you are kind of shocked that you actually got there. So were you expecting not to get there? Now that you're there, you're feeling like, oh, I'm a fake. Like I'm a
Exactly.
fake. Oh yeah, they are going to catch up with me. Oh, they'll discover that I'm not as good as they think I am. You know, you start having all of these thoughts and doubts and everything. But every time we have to deal with things, there's always this line of fear that comes. And it comes really close. It depends on what you respond with. So one of the things that I've heard an authority say about imposter syndrome is begin to work on your own skill sets. Keep developing yourself in the knowledge of what you do. Keep developing yourself. Keep, you're never at. There's nothing wrong with I don't know the answer. It's okay not to know an answer. It's okay not to have a response, but we beat ourselves up like I must respond. My identity is based on my response. If I don't respond well, then it looks like I'm very dull. So at that point, they can't really. No, you're already amazing. That's why you even have the position in the first place. There are lots of people that didn't get to that point. You're already amazing. So you have that position, you have that role, you have that influence because you are truly, truly amazing. Now, what are you tying that amazement to? What identity are you tying it to? So I had an interview like 2 weeks ago, and I heard a lot of people say to me, I'm really proud of you, proud of you, proud of you. Then I made a statement. I said, if I hear one more, I'm proud of you. Oh my God, I'll just put up my phone. I'm like, please, I want to. So, and I was like, I want to see the money to come with the pride. When people say I'm proud of you, I want to be seeing myself like, oh, I'm making 6 figures. You know, that's what I said that day. By the next day, God started to teach me what my problem was with that statement. I'm proud of you should be thank you. There is
Wow.
an identity you are bringing your what's that? I hope all is well, Joanne.
Yeah, can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Yeah, you're fine. I'm fine. I'm just pulling up something on my phone on Imposter.
Okay.
Go
So
ahead.
there was an identity you have tied success to money. That
Yes.
even when people think you are amazing, you want to see money to say that you're amazing, which is also an identity crisis. Your identity is not tied to money, it's not tied to the money in your bank. Money is good, we love it, we like to spend it, but your impact is not based on the money that it generates. It's based on the life that are being touched and what they think is important to them at the time. So imposter syndrome comes in different ways. Identity crisis, they all match in together. So the moment you get your identity right, in all levels of your life, when it comes to your physical appearance, it comes to your intellectual capacity, it comes to your finances, and maybe your marriage or whatever it is, or your relationships and all of that, then you are able to actually get rid of imposter syndrome. Thank you, yeah, Team Joanne has put up the podcast. So yesterday,
Yeah,
make sure
and
you
I
click
want
on
them
it.
to put up, I don't know if they're still here. Please put the one for the general link I've sent you on WhatsApp, because not everybody is on Apple. Because I really want people to listen to that podcast. And if you go to the link that we're going to put just now, whether you're on Apple, Spotify, any podcast station, streaming facility, you'll be able to do that. So Team Joanne, please check WhatsApp. I've sent you the link to put in. But I want to say something. Thank you so much. Thank you. You see, we are quick. Thomas Clyde, I have not seen you in a long time. Thank you for joining. And he says this is such a beautiful conversation. And for me, I feel so honored to hear a man say that and join us with such power.
Thank you so
And
much.
it's so nice, yes. And then Lily says she's talking about separating emotions, and I'm a mom. I need to change. Exactly, we need to change. Find out where your source is coming from, and we will give you an opportunity for that, because we'll be talking about that in a moment, because Raliat and I are doing the collaboration of the year. And if you're here, you need to be in that room, and I'm going in that virtual room, and we're going to be announcing that shortly. But you know what, Raliat, I was thinking about that imposter syndrome as well, right? One of my friends was sharing with me how that podcast interview really liberated her, because she knew it's a thing, but she didn't understand what it is. So
Mm,
she's like the only black person in a farm. She's in a law firm full of
okay.
white people. So first and foremost, she already has her own, feelings about that. So whenever, just like you said, she's applauded or they say something in her
Mm,
head, she asks herself, are they saying this genuinely, or are they saying it just to make me feel?
yeah.
But don't worry, you're not because you're the only black person here. We still identify with you. You're still somebody, right? And I had to encourage her and tell her, out of everybody they picked you because they saw
Mm,
abilities in you that only you can bring into this organization. And
mm,
and I kid you not, she just burst into tears. She's like, she had never thought of it that way. Because in her head, she has just, the way you grow up surviving. You go to
yeah.
school, you survive. You go to uni, you survive. And you're always trying to just be the, because truly, we have to put in, especially those of us abroad, you'll understand that sometimes we really have to put in a bit more effort. And for her, it had been putting effort. So in her head, she never really saw herself for who
Mm,
she really is. So, and it actually affects more high performers. If you're a high performing professional, if you're somebody who has that propensity to achieve great things, imposter syndrome will pursue you
yeah.
most. So listen to my interview, I've even given you 5 different, I think they're called identities under imposter syndrome, where you can be able to figure out which category you fall under, and a quiz as well. So I've literally laid it down for you. But Raniat, why I'm excited really is because you and I are doing a collabo. And before we even continue the conversation further, Team Joanne, if you could put the link in the chat in a minute or so. Raliat and I realized that we want to remove the heaviness that we are seeing by going back to the root of all this, and the root is identity. Our identity is not tied to the things I said, to emotions, to your behavior, to your role, to your faith, to your religion. A lot of us, and in fact, people of my faith, I'm sorry to say, hello, everybody. I am born again. First thing you're saying, announcing, again, your identity comes from Christ, but you also have to be aware that there's such a wide spectrum of things to look at under identity. And I cannot go through this, and neither can Raniat go through this information in the short time that we are here together. And what we have done collaboratively, collaboratively, myself and Raliat have come up with a 3 hour, three full hours of training at a non-negotiable price. In fact, the price was double. And when I was doing working on the sales page, Raliat can attest to this. I said to the person doing the page that, you know what, let's bring this amount down because I want as many people in the room to be there, because it's not really about us. It's really about us serving. And what Thomas has said is really in line with what we'll be talking about. He says, I love the topic on matching beauty with purpose. Majority of us have been limited to not being complete due to somebody planting doubt in our identity.
Yeah.
Every candle has potential to produce a flame. Big up, ladies. That's what we are going to talk about. I will tackle the issues of self perception, self image, self confidence. How do you see yourself? And Miss Raliat will be talking about the practical beauty things. In fact, the way you're seeing her face right now, she's actually going to take us through a face beat. Literally, we will have our makeup there. Once you register, we'll have all that information sent to you, what we need. And she's going to take us through a 15-minute actual face beat for busy women. You know, whether you call yourself the identity of a mom or a wife or a what. So if you're joining the session, you better have somewhere you're going after that, because it's called identity bit. We are doing the identity and the face bit. And I'm going to share my screen so that you guys can be able to have a look at it. And thank you, Tim, for sharing this. Really, please take us through just what I'm about to share so that the
Okay.
people can see. And once it shows up, Ralet, can you please let me know that it is showing? Is it showing?
Not yet. Okay. Coming up. Yeah. It's showing now.
Please take us through what identity is. What is it? People are asking me, what is this? What is this masterclass? Is it in person? Is it virtual? Let's start from there.
Okay, so it's going to be a virtual masterclass. Like Joanne has said, 3 full hours where identity would meet purpose. You would learn how to beat your face in 15 minutes. As much as we have talked about all that you really are as a person, we'll also be talking about your outward appearance. How do you show up? It doesn't describe who your true person is. It's just an expression of who you are in the inside. You just want to express yourself on the outside. But we know that you must start from the inside out. It mustn't be outside in. Inside out. I remember there was a lady I met one time. She looked so beautiful. And the moment you just go speak to her, and she's so nasty from the inside. All of a sudden, the person next to me said, "Oh, she doesn't look beautiful anymore. She looks so ugly." And I'm like, "Oh!" So you can imagine. Also, you might carry a lot within you, and you show up in a place you are not expressing your inner beauty on the outside. People will not look at you well because man sees on the outside, even if who you are is on the inside. So that's what we're going to be talking about when it comes to identity bits. When you judge a woman by her appearance, it doesn't define her, it defines you. Remember that.
Yeah.
However, yes, ladies, never allow yourself to be defined by someone's inability to appropriate your unique beauty. So we will be giving you that expression of your uniqueness so that people can judge you right. Yeah, Joanne, we can go on.
Yes, so identity bit is really where beauty meets brains, where identity meets worthiness. Do you want to continue?
Yeah, so I did. Yeah, where beauty meet brain. So you have this whole thing about you. We want to help you express yourself in a lot of ways. There's a way I show up every single time, and gone are the days where they say, "Oh, she's just beauty without brains." We know that you are all brains, and we want you to express your brains with a good appearance, which is your beauty. So we want you to sign up. It's going to come up June 25th. June 25th, and it's going to be a virtual masterclass with Joanne and Raliat. We have 2 time slots. If you click on the link now, you will see the time slots that are available to you. It's going to be 10 a.m. UK time and West African time. It's 12 p.m. Eastern African time, and it's also 5 Eastern. Also, we have the second session, so you can only attend one of the sessions. So when you
Yes.
sign up, you go for the time slot that is most convenient for you. And because we have the second slot for people that are in the western part of the earth, so that they can sign up at 11 Eastern time. And if you feel that that's better for you in the UK or in West Africa or East Africa, which is 8 p.m. your time, then we'll be happy to have you. Please, the slots are filling up really fast, and we want to have as many people as we can.
And you know what, Raliat, I just wanted to mention that for the people in Kenya, you have the option to pay by M-Pesa. This masterclass, when you click, and I'm going to click this, is $37. So you can charge your card, but you also have the option to pay by M-Pesa to
So,
this number that is here. And M-Pesa equivalent shillings is 4,350. So once you've made the payment, you're going to email me if you're using M-Pesa, just to let me know which time slot you're using. Otherwise, if you're paying with your card, you'll just come and click. So whether it's 10 a.m. UK, 12 p.m. East African time, 10 a.m. West African time, or this would be 5 a.m. Eastern time. That's the people in the US. You just come and click make payment now, and it takes you to the payment. I'm not going to, we can continue because I don't know if it's going to show you. Can you see that? Is it showing Raliat? Because I can't see the screen.
yes, it is. It's showing.
So it shows you how to, and you just can put your email address, your card details, and immediately you're able to pay the $37. Alternatively, you do, excuse me. Oh, bless you, Joanne. Alternatively, you can do the 4,300 by M-Pesa. We've already sold 5 slots just when I announced it, and it blew my mind. If you want this other session, sign up for 4 p.m. UK, 6 p.m. East African time, 4 p.m. West African time, and this is 12 p.m. Was it 12? 11 a.m. I beg
11.
your pardon. 11 a.m. for the people in the US Eastern time. You come here and you say make payment, and you pay the $37. If you do not want to run your card and you're one of those people like me who love my M-Pesa, you can use M-Pesa, and the equivalent is 4,350. And why I'm telling you to make the commitment now is that when the slots go, they are gone. And some of you have never experienced me. You don't know who I am. So we are here, me and Raliat. You may never have heard of Raliat, and I'm going to take us through quickly so that you know who is teaching you. Me, I'm the one talking. I'm the one, I can't see myself, but you guys can see me. I'm an experienced life coach, purpose mentor, workshop facilitator. I love to teach. You guys can tell I love to teach. I love to speak. I get amazed every single day that I'm able to use the gift that God has given me to impact women all over the world. And my mission is to help women across the globe get clarity on their life direction, live to their full potential, and align their lives fully to their unique life purpose. In fact, the Raliat who is here has been an alumni of my life purpose program because this is an area that I love with all my heart. And my mission is to help women realize their worth by empowering them to break away from self defeating patterns and beliefs and helping them to step into their zone of excellence and brilliance. How do you do that? Through getting a really good indicator of who you are through your identity, through your vision, through your mission, through who really you are put to represent and do in this world. And we're going to be doing that. I'll be going again, as I said, into self-confidence, self-image, a lot of stuff. And these limiting beliefs that Rally had to talk about here, I help you empower women to break away from those patterns that keep you stuck. So these things, it's not just one of those fluffy conferences that you attend and someone just reads from a slide and it's so boring and you're like, oh my God, why am I here? You will get so much value from not only the teachings, but also the practical settings, the practical setting of what you're going to do with Raliat. But Raliat will also teach who is she. Raliat is a business consultant and a beauty expert with over 10 years. Can someone write in the chat over 10? Write over 10. This is not a newbie. This is somebody who has been doing this with her eyes closed. She has over 10 years of experience in various industries like technology, travel, makeup and beauty, etc., spanning retail product development, customer relations, beauty services, training, inventory management, and staff management. And I want to say she was working for the top makeup companies in Nigeria for a very long time at a very senior level. She now mentors and coaches women in business, and she's a consultant for organizations and employee training. So it's not people just coming off the road and suddenly calling themselves coaches, because in the industry we are in, there are people who just pop from wherever and they say that I'm a coach. This is the work that I do. We're talking about, between Raliat and myself, the experience we have is immense. So if you're in, I want to see that. I want to see I am in. Oh, Rebecca was here. So nice to meet you, Rebecca. Rebecca said she has to go now, but thank you. It was great. I sent her the invite before. And yes, Raliat, I'm so happy. I'm sure you're taking a clip for us as well. And Team Joanne, if you can do that as well. But I just want to say this as we come towards the tail end of this conversation. We have a couple of minutes. And if you guys have some questions, please, 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 I would be so delighted if you can put them in the chat, because it's not every day you'll be able to get to pick the brain of someone of Raliat's caliber. You're here to get this information, and she's very willing to give it to you. And by the way, Raliat, is it tomorrow that we are doing the same on Instagram? Is it tomorrow? Can you confirm?
Could you try again?
Can you hear my Siri very busy trying to enter our conversation? Is it Friday?
Friday.
Okay. Raliat, do you have one other story that you may have around your life? I'm just trying to pull something around your life that made you really think about your identity. Did you feel your identity change maybe when you moved from being single to being married? Because for me, I think it was just a continuation. I think I entered marriage in a daze because I'd been through so much. I literally, from the time I got sick, I went for my treatment and all those things, and then immediately after got engaged, and immediately after got married, and immediately after moved to the UK, resigned from my job with the UN, immediately after moved to the UK, like in one less than a year.
Wow.
So when I say I was walking in a daze, when people talk about supernatural acceleration, I can tell you what it is, because things were moving for me like this. So I can't really tell you that I had a space or the time to shift. I sort of just moved from one to the other so quickly. So did you have things like that happen to you where you're like, things are different?
Yeah, for me, because I had settled my identity in my single days, so getting married was not an identity change for me. It was just one of the things that had to happen to my life. So it didn't make me superior to anybody that was single at the time or anything. I just knew that it's part of my life, so I just took it on like when another responsibility. As against before I had my identity in place, I would have thought that, oh, that makes you superior. And those are some of the things that make people make wrong choices and be in abusive relationships because their identities are not in place. So it's important to know that. Yeah. So for me, it was just one of those things that had to happen. It wasn't like, oh, my identity has changed. I'm not married, or no.
Yeah, and for me, I think, having been single, I got married in my almost, my mid-30s. I had been asked for so long, when will you ever get married? And I had been thrown at so many things. Oh, you're so choosy. Oh, just get the next person with, you know what I was gonna say, this is YouTube, and get married, and it doesn't really matter. But somehow in my heart, I didn't have that thing like being single is a bad thing or getting married is and I was just like, whichever phase I am in life, I'll just embrace it. And I think that in itself was so helpful, because even the friends I had and the environments I was in as much as many of my friends got married long before me, I'm so grateful that I didn't have, there are friends who can make you feel really crappy about
Yeah.
your situation. You know what I mean? My friends were so kind and so accommodative. Like, some of them, even when they were having their couple dates, they would drag me along with them. We are at, quote unquote, we are at three. Let me not finish the sentence. And would go out as a trio and enjoy, and they would not make me feel any any type of way. And that's how I want us to feel. It doesn't matter your situation, how you are. I want to say that, you know, sometimes you can look at yourself in the mirror, and I've gone through this where I'm like, I don't really know who I am anymore. I don't really understand because so many things are happening and they're moving so fast. And sometimes
Mm,
you even look at the mirror and ask yourself, who is this person? You look at yourself in the mirror and you're unidentifiable, even to yourself. You're like, who is
mm,
this person? And you may not even understand how you got to that point because you lost track of yourself for so long. You fell off the path of understanding yourself for so long. And this can be very painful and confusing. It can be very frustrating when you're grappling with these things. And that's why, if you're struggling with any of these things, please do not be on your own. And even if you're one of those people who is like, what are they telling me? My self confidence is up here. I have everything moving for me. Let me tell you, you still need to be in that room because one thing I have learned is that we do not have a monopoly of knowledge. Every time I have entered a room, I have learned something, even if it's just one sentence. I have gone to
yeah.
conferences. You know, the way you enter a conference and in your head, you're like, oh, I know this stuff, I've had it. And that one sentence someone said completely changes my business. I've learned to be malleable. I've learned to be coachable. I've learned
Mm,
to listen, to have that energy of let me listen. I may not even listen at that exact point, but something has entered my head. Listen, Joanne. So let's not be the type of people where you're like, oh, yet another webinar. Oh, yet another masterclass. Ah, what are they saying? Look at them. No, if you're thinking of it like that, you're the one who needs to be in that room because there's something that is there for you that is
yeah.
going to help you even get out of your own haughtiness, out of your own. Sometimes you can see yourself in a certain way and you think the way you see yourself is how people see you. It may not necessarily be that way. So let's
Mm,
be humble, let's learn, let's be in an environment of other women who are on the same path as us. We, as I said, Raniet and I met just in a room. We met in a prayer room, but that relationship has evolved. As I said, we've worked together. She's been my client. Now, look, we are now doing collaborations together. Always align yourself to people who are like minded. And even like when I said we need to get the sales page running, we need to get this doing, Raliat was on it quick, quick, quick. And that's why I say that you have to align yourself with people who are moving in the same direction as you. So, Raliat, I want us to give some parting shots because me, I believe that was my parting shot, and I just want to say that never be afraid. People can tell you the world is going how. In your head you can be like, oh, I'm scared of going to this event because I don't know those people. Even the ones coming, they are saying the same thing, I don't know those people. So all of you come, you don't know those people, you will know those people in the room, and we will get to
yeah.
interact. It's a very safe space, very safe environment. What you see is what you get. How I am is how I am. How Raliat is how she is. Raliat, do you want to add on to what I've just said?
Yeah, so I'll just say a sentence because she has said a lot, and we don't want to spill the beans, so I'm not giving you everything so that you can come for the conference. But one thing I'll leave with you, thank you so much, Joanne, for this platform. Thank you for allowing me into your space, from allowing me after being your student to now become a co-collaborator. I remember how I was just like that girl there, and you're telling me, no, do it this way, let's come in, let's get it done. So I really, really appreciate the platform. And
Thank
also, just my parting word is that be yourself because every other person is taken. Every other person is taken. So just be yourself. I would only be the only rally at Abbey that would ever leave. Even if there are other ones, she will never be like me. I'm me. So know that. And that should make you know that you're very special and you're up to something. Thank you all for coming.
Be yourself because everyone else is taken. I'd love to see that in the chat. And I want to thank you again ever so much, Miss Raliat, for being such a light. Honestly, like every time you speak, I'm always mind blown, as I always tell you. You have such power and such potency in how you show up. And even just the way you relate, you're so relatable. Who cannot fall in love with you? And that's why for me, I'm like, who else would I be doing this thing with? It's Raliat, you know what I mean? And I know that the women who have already signed up and the women who will be signing up will have an incredible, indelible, listen, incredible and indelible experience. Your life will not be the same. And I look forward to seeing you in the room on the 25th of June. Watch out. We will be doing, I'm sure, in the course of next week or the other, we'll probably do another YouTube. Stay locked to the channel. If you've not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And please, Tim John, can you put Raliat's Instagram as well on the chat? Because I want you guys to go and blow up Raliat's Instagram. Say hi to her on IG. Say hi to her on Facebook, but I know she uses her Instagram more. I'm speaking on her behalf. Am I right, Australia? To make
Yes,
sense?
you are.
Right. Let's blow up Miss Raliat's Instagram. So please put Tim, if you can put Raliat's Instagram and you put mine as well. Raliat, you can say it as Tim puts it. Mine is at purpose_cultivator because I cultivate purpose. So at purpose_cultivator. Raliat, what's yours?
Raliat Abbey. At Raliat Abbey.
Raliat. I'll just put it Abe IG. Oh, thank you, Tim. And you can put mine as well. And again, just in final in finalization. Is that correct? As we finalize this, Raliat, how long did it take to make your face the way it is? Because it's just, to me, perfect. The contouring, all those. You'll show us how to do those things, yeah?
Yes, just in 15 minutes. I'll show you the 5 quick steps to get your face like this in 15 minutes.
So if
Without over laboring yourself, packing too many makeup products, trying to get all worked up. Just simple steps and you're there.
and you'll show me how to do my eyebrows nicely, not
Of
like
course,
like
I
this.
will show you.
We look forward to learning. So I will have my makeup kit ready. Raliat will have hers. I will have my identity toolkit ready, and we will be there to deliver the magic to you on that virtual stage on the 25th of June. I was going to say January, on the 25th of June 2022 at the times indicated. Tim, could you please put the sign up link again? It's identibit.com. It's somewhere up on the chat, but please put it again. And we will also pin it in our different socials so that you guys can be able to sign up. So that really is it from us. How we have been able to do all this in the time frame that we have done is just incredible. And I pray that everybody who joined us got what it is that they needed. And thank you so much for putting the link again there. And both of us, we love you and leave you. Really, do you want to say us to say bye together to them? Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye. Ciao, ciao. God bless.